stars to guide me. I wish. And throw caution to every warning sign.
I'm talking. I am talking. Ha! Who knew my voice would be this low?
You are their handsomest, most beloved king.
You're right. I am a handsome king.
And this is the thanks I get.
So I make this wish.
Today's preparation to Disney's Wish is different because this is the first of the 3 stuff I'll watch for today, because after this one I've watched a show I've want to finish, and the other one's another movie. I'll tell you them when the video comes. But in this one, it is Maleficent, which is pretty much the 2014 darker reimagining of Sleeping Beauty, the 1959 classic. Except this time it's pretty much about Maleficent's story this time around. And I have some things I want to say, because there are some good stuff, but also that really bad and stupid stuff too in this movie. I'll start with the positives first. I will say this, like, the movie does look pretty good. I really like how the visual looks pretty good, mainly at the Maleficent, especially at the dark colors of it, and the bright colors look pretty good too. I really like the visuals of the movie. I'm kind of mixed on the actors in the movie. Actually, Jolie's good for the most part as Maleficent. Was turned out by her reaction that her wings was removed at the beginning. Elle Fanning as Aurora is okay. On the fair race, I'll talk about him later. And Barry Twist as Prince Philip. Yeah, I'll talk about him later. And I'll say this, that for a PG movie, a lot of the fight scenes in this movie are pretty intense and dark for this PG movie, but they're really good at how intense they can go. And I'll give props to the costumes, like Aurora, Maleficent, and Philip's reimagining costumes. Those look really good for a 2014 remake, but turned out by the fairies' looks, it doesn't look good. And I think my favorite part about the movie is Aurora's reaction to Maleficent when she was younger. Because when she was a baby, she felt, ooh, especially when Maleficent then tried to scare her, but she didn't feel anything. And when she's little, when she becomes a child, she sees Maleficent, but instead of being afraid, she hugs her and touches her ears or horns. Yeah, horns. And I'll be honest here, that's kind of cute. And Aurora's, as a 16-year-old, she calls her Maleficent a godmother, fairy godmother, and they kind of become friends for most part until she realized that Maleficent make a spell about her putting her finger on the spinning wheel, and it will sleep until true love's kiss come. But I think that's pretty much it for the positives, because there are some bad and stupid stuff that are mostly changes to the original. One is the crow. So in the original, there was a crow who is with Maleficent, and all he does is spy on them and kind of attacks them during Prince Philip and the fairies. And this one, he is a human that turns into a crow that can kind of tells that it has a more heart than Maleficent, and tries to tell Maleficent different stuff. The first thing is about the castle, which is what led to the where the spell coming, about the poking finger sleeping thing. Curse, you know, if you've seen the original, you know what I'm talking about. But also, he also gives him sympathetic information to Maleficent about Aurora. Man, I don't know how to feel about it, cause that's like if I don't know, Santa's little helper also became another Santa at the same time. It transformed to a dog. But worst of all, remember the dragon that Maleficent transforms to attack Prince Philip and then bleeds from from Philip's sword? Well, screw that, because that dragon is a creature that's transformed by the crow, not Maleficent, the crow. That is so weird. Like, it's been a while since I've seen this, and rewatching it again, that's a really weird source change. Like, these live action remakes are trying, when they're trying to do something different, it kind of doesn't work. It makes it probably much worse. Um, and the fairies, I thought the original they were okay. Like the scene where the red and blue one argue which color the dress should be, and the other one trying to make a cake. But in this one, they're just kind of silly comic reliefs. They make dumb talks and voices and act crazy. And I don't know how I feel about that. And I don't think they look good when they're smaller. Like there's another change. Like the fairies are now like Tinkerbell sized uh, people, but then when they adopt Aurora, they turn to grown ups. They're more sillier. And I don't like how their costumes either. They don't look right. So yeah, that's another problem. The fairies, the portrayal of the fairies in this movie, and also they're not the ones that make the spell about Aurora can be saved by true love's kiss. That is Maleficent in this one. And of course, what I said about Prince Philip, I think Prince Philip in this movie is wasted and useless because he doesn't do anything in this movie. So if you remember, Prince Philip in the original, he talks with Maleficent, Aurora for a little bit in the beginning, but then he gets more uh, journey. Well, he talks to his father, but then later he gets kidnapped by Maleficent, but then gets out to sell, then teams up with the fairies to stop Maleficent and save Aurora by killing her, but before he could do that, Maleficent attacks Philip, but till he kills her and then saves Aurora by True Love's kiss. So what does he do in this movie? All he does is talk to Aurora for a little bit. Guess tries want to talk to Aurora, but Maleficent make him sleep for until Aurora till the fairies see Philip in the ground. Then they discover that he's a prince, and because of that, they want Philip to kiss Aurora to save her, but then when he does, it does nothing. After that, he leaves, but then at the very end, he meets up with Aurora and Maleficent, the crows again, and that's pretty much it. So there's nothing uh, important about Philip in this one, and he also portrayed by Bennett Strait, who would play Robin in the Titans TV series. And I think he was recast in Mistress of Evil, which I haven't seen yet. Though maybe I will someday. And notice who, and of course, like a lot of solo villain movies like Venom, Craven, or not Craven because it's not out yet, but Venom, Morbius, and Cruella. Maleficent is a now sympathetic anti-hero which has some evilish into her, but mostly portrayed as this tragic hero that feels emotion and saves the world, and the villain is not as great as the villain that is the main character. Like the villain is Aurora's father, which is a weird change since he doesn't. Since I thought he was alright in the original, especially when he talks to Philip's father. So yeah, so Maleficent is probably kind of mediocre. So it's not like the worst thing I ever seen, but it's not that good. Not that good either. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's for one of the three preparation to Disney's Wish of today. Bye.